we have a game called 5Crests. It's a hybrid trading card game based in a what-if history scenario of 1960s Detroit. You're going to be playing a capo, which is a lieutenant inside of the mob, underneath the first family. You're going to be a part of one of the 5 guilds, one of the 5 crests, and you're going to be playing through another player. It's a PvP-oriented game. It's generally 1 versus 1, but we can play up to 5 players free-for-all as well. All right, so what we got here, we have a game already in the middle of everything that we've got going on. So you can see kind of everything that we have. So in the corner here, up here, I have my capo, and that's who I'm playing as during this game. And then over here, my compatriot Joe, he also has a capo over there. That's his main character. Currently, you see he has a character out called an associate. That's who's going to actually be doing the dirty fighting for you, because you don't want to get your hands too dirty. And then on my side, I have my wall of people who are keeping me safe at the moment. So what we're going to do is I will go ahead and let him start his play, and we'll go through. So there's only one really start of the phases that we have. That phase is the refresh phase. So he's going to draw a card, and then if he had any Villium to put on here, which he does for his one over here, the storage unit, he'll put stuff on that. And then he's able to pay for those cards in hand through using that Villium. So he's going to go ahead and play something most likely. So he's going to put another associate out to keep track and keep things away from mine. And do more things, because he's terrible. Thanks. All right, so in this, what he did in this one, he played a calling card, and that calling card caused me to lose a lot of stuff. So that calling card made me take the top 5 of my deck into the discard pile. So the calling cards can be played at any time. So if he wanted to, he could have actually played it on my turn, which would have made me feel way worse than I already do. Is it my turn now?
Yeah, your turn.
All right, so he's going to pass turn to me, and then we're going to start it up. I'm going to take a card for me. I have also a storage location, so those gain more things. And then I'm going to pay 5, and I'm going to play a gear card. Gear cards are objects that are able to be added to an associate, and they do whatever it says on the side of the card. And then we have it designed so that you can just slide it over, the associate over, so you can see what it does. You don't have to keep picking up your cards. In one case, I'm going to go ahead and hit him for 1, and then I'm going to also hit both of them for 1.
And damage is static.
Yep, and damage is static in our game. So if you saw, he had a 6-sided dice that he was using to keep track of the health. So as you can see on this one as well. So now his character actually is only able to do 2 damage. So our damage is static, plus also our damage is also the same as your life total, and we call it your moxie. Like, you got some moxie, kid. We also have 2 other values on the top. That's your attack and defense. So we'll go ahead and play with that a little bit so you can see that in action. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the fray, which is what we call the middle of the board. The fray, and I'm going to attack with my Shine Boy. He's just a 1/1/1, just kind of hanging out.
I'm going to block with my Zealot.
Okay, before anything happens, I'm also going to pay 2 to use his ability to refresh my character's ammo. So if you look, he has abilities. It's pay 2 Villium, which I had 2 Villium in the wings, and I was able to do some extra stuff. So we do have a mechanic of that nature. So now I've leveled up my ammo back up for me. And this, unfortunately, so yeah. He blocks. Are you going to counterattack? We do also have a counterattack mechanic in the game as well.
Yeah, I will counterattack.
So in this case, what happens when you counterattack is then in turn, you look at your red value against my orange value, which he does beat, and then his moxie goes against my moxie. So it would actually kill my Shine Boy. But here is the caveat to that, is that now his Zealot must stay in the fray into the start of my next turn. So he doesn't get it back to do any attacking. It actually waits until my next turn, but when I refresh, he's able to pull it back to do more defending. So pass turn?
Pass turn.
Oh, yeah, you have your turn. So he'll draw another card. And just more location.
Let's see, what's my total at?
Do you want to do one of your capo abilities?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we have in our game is that our capos have the ability to use abilities. Some of them are magic, some of them just do things. But to do that, you actually have to use your main character's health. And so that's why our game can actually move pretty quickly, is because to do cooler things, you actually have to kill your own main character. So it kind of goes against a lot of what other people think, but it is pretty fantastic, and it does make the game pretty great. So he's actually doing that now. He's going to be taking his character down by 3 life, and then he's actually pulling out of my discard pile to play one of my abilities called Muster Order. So he's actually able to go in and actually find characters out of his deck to be able to play them and when he has the Villium, which he does have the Villium to play. So that card comes out. This then goes out of game with the other cards that he has already made out of game, and he's going to be finding 2 associates to bring into his hand, like thus.
Convert and a land.
And he will be playing them as well, because he has far too much Villium to pay for it.
We're going to go...
All right, so he played those 2 guys.
He's still in the fray.
And he's still in the fray because, again, like he said, he counterattacked, so he's stuck out there.
I'm done.
All right, so here we go. It's start of mine. So in the refresh, he gets to bring back his Zealot as a blocker. And then I get to refresh my Villium here. And now it's my turn to do things. When your location fronts come into play, they come into play with the amount of Villium it tells you. So in this case, it says restore 1, so it comes with 1. Then yeah, I'm able to do other things. So I will play him. I will hit everybody for 1, and then I will hit him for 1. So there was a lot of stuff going on just then. What happened was I used another ammo counter off of the gear to cause 1 point of damage across, and then I used this one to hit him for 1. Yep, was he it? Yeah, he'd be dead. Yep, so that one also has the ability to do 1 damage, but it then takes the ammo. I'm then going to pay another 2 from my Shine Boy, because he exists to do things like that, and bring that ammo back up. And then I will attack for 3.
And I only had 2 life, so that is...
Game.
Very cool.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the history and the lore of 5Crests. What we have here is, I have the object here. It's called Villium. This is the ore that was found underneath a copper mine outside of Detroit. And so what happened was a gentleman by the name of Henry J. Ville, he was doing some copper mining and ended up finding this ore, and not really realizing what he had on his hands, he kind of showed it around, and it come to find out that this actually was able to imbue things with magic, was able to make things stronger, make things cooler, and as always, when something is cool, the mob swooped in and took over everything. So there was a couple of really big families that came together, called themselves the First Family, and then they created the 5 guilds, the 5Crests, and those guys are the ones that keep the peace and try to make everything together so that there's a piece of the pie for everybody. And so that's what you're going to be doing, is you're going to be playing as a capo or a lieutenant inside of one of the guilds, keeping your piece of the pie together.
Talk to us about why you chose Detroit and why you chose that time period.
Sure. So we decided to go with the Detroit area because we're all kind of Michigan boys, which kind of makes us kind of a little biased on Detroit, but also there's that whole idea of that everybody kind of loves to see a cool Detroit, like it's like the underdog, as it were. And so we really wanted to make Detroit like a golden era Detroit. So when this game, you're looking at a Detroit that's kind of like a golden era New York City or golden era Las Vegas. If you want something decadent and wonderful, you come to Detroit in 1960 inside of the 5Crests world. So we're 5Crests. You can find us at 5crests.com. You can also find us at facebook.com/5crests. We're also on Twitter at 5Crests. And you can purchase the game here at GenCon at the moment, and then we should be having a store page on our website here in the next couple of weeks. And we are maybe going to Kickstarter for a second production run, but at the moment, this is what we're doing. So.
Man, fantastic. Cool.